Now, have you got a spare room in your home? Well, you're in luck, because to combat the £3.5 billion per year cost of asylum seekers, a new report is urging Brits to house these immigrants in our spare rooms. Forget the fact that most voters don't want them in our country in the first place. This report by the Policy Exchange think tank and backed by former Tory party chairman Brandon Lewis urges us to invite undocumented, unvetted men into our homes. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Now, I'll tell you what. Why don't the Refugees Welcome Brigade go first? You know, bleeding hearts like Sadiq Khan, Labour's Home Secretary Yvette Cooper, Liberal Democrat leader Ed Davey, or the holier-than-thou Nicola Sturgeon, Jeremy Corbyn, Diane Abbott, Care for Calais staff? No? What about the Archbishop of Wokery, Justin Welby? Any room that you're in? No, thought not. Old Gary Lineker could squeeze a football team of them into his £4.5 million Surrey mansion, and not just heavily vetted poster boys like Rashid here, who stayed at Chateau Big Ears for a mere 20-day PR stunt. Of course, this won't ever happen, because these refugee welcome hypocrites are the NIMBYs, no illegals in my backyard. And it's not just the MPs and the lovies. On Saturday, GB News reported from a protest in Portland against a barge set to house 500 men in the town's port. And guess what? The Refugees Welcome anti-racists didn't even want the barge in their town because of the strain 500 men would place on the local health service. You couldn't make it up. And look how these refugee welcome protesters responded when a reporter asked them if they'd house an immigrant in their spare room.
On a list saying you're willing to take the refugees into your home?
Of course not. Only problem is I rent.
You rent?
Yeah.
Well, if I had any space, I would.
No, I'm sorry, I can't.
You can't take one.
I don't have a.
Don't have the space.
I'm in a rental place, so I can't.
Rental?
Yeah.
You can't do it?
Yeah.
Someone else's job?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I can't, because my house is only a little small and...
Yes, if I had room.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Any reason in particular?
I don't. What sort of refugee are you talking about?
No, like Lineker and co, these holier-than-thou hypocrites would rather dump tens of thousands of immigrants on the working classes, who voted for stricter border control in every national election since 2010. But it gets worse. Just yesterday, after local objections were completely and utterly ignored, the government announced that the first 50 of 1,700 military-aged men are to be dumped on Weathersfield Air Base in Essex. Asylum seekers will be welcomed in Arabic and Farsi. They'll enjoy freshly painted rooms, 3 square meals a day, on-site medical care, a gym, sports hall, multi-faith prayer rooms, and a free shuttle bus into nearby Braintree and Colchester. And sites like this will crop up all over the UK, and you will fit the bill. Remember, the £2 billion we spend on asylum seekers' hotels alone every year is bigger than the second wave of levelling up funding for the entire UK. And shamefully, it's 3 times more than we spend on our own homeless, including at least 6,000 armed forces veterans. Britain is now a free Travelodge for any economic immigrant, potential criminal or terrorist who makes it to our shores. Of course, the only place you'll never catch them are inside the homes of the politicians, the lovies, charity workers, woke journalists, anti-racists and the archbishops who all will this madness on. They are the no illegals in my backyard hypocrites, and they'll be sitting pretty in their piety as your community goes to the dogs.